and welcome here to TalkFCB, and welcome back to the channel here today, guys, where coming up for you is a Barça news roundup, and there is plenty for us to discuss today. We're going to be talking about Dembele's performance last night against Celta Vigo, Xavi's words on the Frenchman, and of course the very, very latest on his future and any recent developments. We're also going to be talking as well about Philippe Coutinho and his potential exit permanently from Barça, and we are going to be discussing whether it's a good deal for the club in terms of the transfer fee that we're going to get. It is all going to be analysed coming today for you. So let's get to it. But first, if we do begin with by far and away the most important topic of today's video, I want to talk first of all about Ronald Araujo, because of course last night we were all very worried, we were all very shocked by the scenes that we saw at the Camp Nou when Araujo went down there after that knock to the head. He was immediately taken there to hospital after he was stretchered off, of course, and then put into the ambulance on the Camp Nou field, and Barça then confirmed that Araujo had suffered a concussion, but crucially that he was conscious and he would then undergo further tests at the hospital. Araujo then was kept in overnight at the hospital as a precaution. That is simply just standard practice there for these kind of head injuries. You don't want to take any risks, and he was monitored there overnight with a number of different tests. But the great news is, and the fantastic news today that we must celebrate, is that Barça confirmed early this afternoon that Araujo now has been discharged from hospital. He's all okay. That is a huge, huge relief. Of course, there's no word yet on when he could return to the field, but of course, our priority, without a doubt, is just that he was okay, that he makes a full recovery. That is the most important thing. And of course, Ronald, we are wishing you all the very best. And indeed, before we do get on to Dembele and Coutinho, what I do want to bring to your attention here is another piece of official news today coming out of the club, and it does concern here the 19-year-old French midfielder Ruiz-Atil. Now, this is somebody who early on in his career actually spent 6 years at La Masia, where he was very, very highly rated indeed as a youngster. He then left to join PSG and started playing there for a number of years, but in 2021, Barça then re-signed Ruiz-Atil when he came to the end of his PSG contract, and he then proceeded to sign a 3-year deal at Barça with the option of 2 further years as well, meaning that if things had gone well for him here, he could have been at the club for at least until 2026. However, since his return to the club, it's safe to say that things haven't worked out for him. He's made just 11 appearances this season for Barcelona B, and there have often been huge question marks there, and real doubts about the player's attitude, about his professionalism in and around the club, and it only seemed like a matter of time really before Barca were going to take some action here when it comes to Ruiz, and indeed, this morning it was confirmed by the club in an official statement that Barça no longer require the services of Ruiz-Atil, and that his contract as of today has been officially terminated, so he will no longer continue at the club. He is gone from Barça, and I think here at just 19 years old, and for somebody who is so highly rated in years gone by, it's going to be so interesting and intriguing to see whether he can get his career back on track. But if we do indeed move on to Ousmane Dembele, who of course last night against Celta Vigo put in a very complete performance. That was a really disciplined display by Dembele on that right-hand side. Plenty of good decisions I feel that he was taking in that final third. It wasn't just about crossing into the area. It wasn't just about putting balls into the box. It was actually about picking players out, and he did that so well yesterday. 1 assist there going the way of Memphis, and another to his good friend Aubameyang. And of course what that means is that Dembele now moves on to 13 assists in La Liga this season. It moves him 2 clear of Karim Benzema at the very, very top, and those are great numbers for him. And I would also say as well, for Jordi Alba too, plenty of creativity there coming off both wings at Barca this season. And Xavi, after the game there, was asked in a bit more detail about Dembele, and also about the fact that yes, the assists are very, very good, but also there about the fact that maybe Dembele should be scoring more goals. But Xavi said, making a difference in this team, it's not only about scoring goals. He said the first goal, I feel, is practically Dembele's. He said he then provided another one for Aubameyang. He said Ousmane here is making the difference for us. And in pretty much every press conference that he does, Xavi often says that, and that he wants Dembele to stay. But I think that's certainly the feeling that I get right now and that I have every single game where I see Dembele doing these things. And quite clearly, he's playing very well. Often Dembele has got quality. He's somebody who can make the difference in the final third. Of course, they're always looking for that consistency, but clearly the talent is there. We're all aware of that. But I don't know if it's just me, but even after a performance like that last night, I'm still there thinking, I can't get too excited. I can't get too ahead of myself right now when it comes to Dembele. It's almost like us as Barcelona fans, we don't want to get too attached to him, to these kind of displays, because still, in the back of our minds, we don't know if he's going to be here. And that still remains the case. Even today, we don't know what the future holds for Dembele at Barca, because just last night there, Gerard Romero came out, who is one of, if not the, most reliable sources right now when it comes to Barca updates. And he said that right now Dembele, he's actually being represented by two different agents. Obviously, there's Moussa Sissoko, who we are all very much already aware of, but also there, Marco Lichtsteiner is also representing Dembele according to Romero. And he did say something very, very interesting, because he said that right now, Dembele and Lichtsteiner, they accept the new proposal from Barca. They would be happy to renew on the conditions that have been offered, but surprise, surprise, it's Moussa Sissoko. Gerard Romero says that it's him. He is the man right now holding everything up, stalling these negotiations, because apparently every single time they sit down, the two parties meet, he is always there asking for a big renewal bonus. And that's something I feel the club are not really going to give into. They're clearly not wanting to go down that particular road, but Moussa Sissoko, who has just been, honestly, an absolute pain throughout all of these negotiations, is he still the man who's causing problems? However, when you are talking about current negotiations, one man who I really do want to talk to you guys about is none other than Philippe Coutinho, who of course back in January joined Aston Villa on a loan deal until the end of the season. He took a huge pay cut to make that happen, credit to him, which also meant that in the January transfer window, Barca freed up some all-important funds. That was really massive for us that he made that move. And of course inserted into that deal was a €40 million buy option come the end of the season, if Aston Villa wanted to make that move permanent. And I do have to say, with the way that Coutinho started at the club, we were all starting to dream of that 40 million. He was absolutely incredible. He was scoring, he was assisting, he was a massive part of their team, but I think in the recent weeks there has been a bit of a drop-off, not only for him but also for Aston Villa. For Coutinho there, he's got no goals or assists in his last 8 games for Villa, and it has been a tricky time as of late. So, what is happening right now is that Villa, and especially Steven Gerrard, they still really want to keep Coutinho, and that's a really good thing for us. They still want to sign him on that permanent deal, and he is happy to stay there and play there in the future, but there does need to be that compromise on the transfer fee. They're not willing to pay the full 40 million. And the fee that is being reported right now that Barca and Villa are set to agree on, it is half of that, at €20 million this summer to sign Coutinho. And look, yes, in 2018, in January, Bartomeu did indeed make the decision to sign Coutinho for €160 million from Liverpool. Yep, that really happened. We really paid that money. And yes, it was ridiculous. From the very word go, that was a staggering fee for a player there who still we never had a plan for. We never had an idea about where we were going to play him and where he fitted into our team. Yet we still paid that record fee for this club. And so for that reason you'd think, well, 20 million now, that is no good at all. But still, I think it's a good deal. Because let's not forget here that even despite Coutinho being desperate to join Barca, back in 2018 he was looking to force his way out to Liverpool. He wanted to play here more than anything else, and even with that desire, Bartomeu still said, I know you're desperate to come, I know you want to play here, I know this is your dream, but just to convince you more, how about you have a contract there worth over €400,000 a week for 5 years? That, guys, is the level of incompetence which has got us, and we can never forget this, into our current financial state. So when we're offered now a way out of that, yes, 20 million, it's not ideal, it's not a big fee considering what we paid for him, but that mistake has been made. What it's about now is rectifying that in the best way that we can. He is a player that come this summer would have been entering the final year of his contract, and to accept 20 million and remove all of those wages, over 400,000 euros a week, that is priceless for us right now. It is a step that we had to take, and I am grateful that both he and Aston Villa are happy to continue together, because honestly, I think all of the parties, when it comes to this deal, will be glad to turn the page. So please guys, do let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. There are some really intriguing topics today. Let me know your thoughts there on that Ruiz-Atil contract termination, about Dembele there, his performance last night, and what you see happening in his future. Can we find a way around Moussa Sissoko? And also let me know your thoughts there on that Coutinho deal. Are you happy with the fee, with his exit? Let me know down below. And of course, fantastic news. The most important thing of all is that Araujo, discharged from hospital, he's gonna be okay. And I will see you soon, guys, with more videos to come. Thanks for watching, and thank you for your support. But until next time, as always, Visca El Barça.